I will call the July 18, 2022 meeting of the Woodbridge Board of Education to order at 7:02 p.m. with a reminder to all those watching and participating remotely to kindly mute your microphones to avoid any background noise. This meeting is being held as a hybrid meeting consistent with Connecticut Public Act 22-3. The public may attend both in person and electronically via WebEx. This meeting is being recorded and the recording will be available on the district website. I'll call the roll. If you are virtual, would you please unmute yourself to identify that you are here? Dr. Maria Madonic, not here at the moment, I don't believe. Sarah Beth Delpreet. Present. In person. Dr. Jay Daya.
Here.
Remotely. Ms. Brooke Hopkins is absent this evening. Mr. Jeff Hughes.
Here.
Ooh. In person. Mr. Stephen Lawrence. You have to unmute, Stephen. Okay. Stephen is here remotely. Dr. Mike Strambler is walking in as we speak. He'll be setting up in person. Ms. Erin Williamson. Here. Present. In person. And I'm Lynn Piazek, Chair, in person. Staff in attendance this evening, Ms. Christine Syriac, Interim Superintendent, and Ms. Donna Coonan, Director of Business and Operations. She is here remotely. And Ms. Syriac is here in person, I'm sorry. And Ms. Marcia DeGennaro remotely. Okay, I will ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Correspondence? Sarah Beth, any correspondence?
There is no correspondence.
We have no correspondence this evening. Moving on to public comment. Is there any public comment? Participants should raise their hand in the participants list if you have a public comment to make. I do not see any hands raised. So we'll move on to PTO update. I'm delighted to welcome Ruchi Jain as the new PTO president this evening. Ruchi,
Sorry.
hi Ruchi.
Yeah, hi Lynn and hi everyone. So as Lynn mentioned, I'm this year's elected PTO president. My name is Ruchi Jain and I have a son who is going into Mag 3 and an older one who graduated from Beecher and is entering grade 8 in MET system. And since we moved to Woodbridge and Beecher in 2018, so not long back, I've been involved in many PTO and non-PTO related projects. So I'm really excited and looking forward to this upcoming year and working together with district, school, community, and the town. Like Beecher is everything, right? So joining me, Linda Christie and Sumi Sudhir are the co-treasurers, and Jennifer Plonsky is the secretary. And in addition to these elected positions, we have a lot of parent volunteers who have already stepped forward to coordinate several PTO events. And means if you're new to Beecher, I can tell you that Beecher PTO does a lot of things, a lot. And Beecher is one of the biggest schools. It's equivalent to, I would say, 3 small schools. So we are never short of, like, we would never shy away from asking for more volunteers. So if anybody is interested, like anybody from community or school, knowing more about PTO, how to be involved, please contact us at brsptoinfo@gmail.com. Okay, so little bit of the PTO update. So as we all know, COVID has been hard for all of us, right? This is like a global issue. And so I want to first officially thank the outgoing team who really worked tirelessly and kept all the Beecher PTO spirits alive. And most importantly, worked hard towards good record keeping and amazing job at, they did an amazing job at fundraising. So 2022 also marks 50 years of existence of Beecher PTO, which is like a wow kind of moment. So in lieu of the 50 years of existence, PTO decided to fund $50,000 towards a STEAM Dream project, which encompassed a lot of departments, including science, technology, arts, library, and more. And the details were shared in the June meeting, and we will be also posting them on the PTO website, which is brs.ptboard.com. And most of the items have been ordered and they are coming in school slowly over the summer. And the things which have not been ordered, the money has been earmarked for all of it. So the new team will take over and facilitate all the ordering for that. So this year, as the new group, we are planning on strengthening communication and rebuilding our community that COVID kind of managed to steal from us. And in those spirits, we are having our first community social for our youngest friends who are the incoming kindergartners on Saturday, July 30th from 10 to 11 with a rain date of Sunday, July 31st. And thanks to Lauren Miller for coordinating this event. And over the summer, we are also deciding to kind of start off by collecting some community input from sort of reflecting on the current PTO events, if we can add new events or if some events can be phased out, and how to use money. So the survey will be circulated later this week or early next week to the parent community. And with this, I will stop and I'll say again, I'm looking forward to this amazing year working with all of you. And if you have any questions, please send them my way. Thank you.
Ruchi, thank you so much. And I'd like to make note for the board that a written report from the PTO can be found in Board Book. And I think that that will help to streamline our meetings. So I thank you for that as well, Ruchi. Welcome. Welcome aboard. Marcia, I'd like to make note 7:09 p.m. Dr. Madonic has arrived and is signing in person. All right, we're up to number 2, consent agenda. The minutes from the July, pardon me. I'm going to start that again. The meeting minutes from the June 1st special meeting and the June 20th regular meeting are included in this evening's consent agenda. Also included is the acceptance of policy 0523, equity for 30-day review. Is there anything that the board wishes to see extracted from tonight's consent agenda? Okay, seeing no one raising their hand, may I have a motion to accept the consent agenda? Maria Madonic is making a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, seconded by Mike Strambler. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. That's unanimous, Marcia. Thank you. Okay, great. Moving on. Reports. Woodbridge Board of Ed Chair update. That would be me. First, I would like to welcome Christine Syriac back to the board table this evening. Christine returned as our interim superintendent on July 1st, and she's been quite busy since she arrived. She spent time reacquainting herself with former staff and town leaders, as well as meeting staff that has joined the district recently. She is addressing the daily operations of the district, addressing staffing issues, preparing for the start of the new school year. We look forward to hearing Christine's report later in the evening. Since our last meeting. There have been 2 other changes in our administrative team. I would like to welcome Donna Coonan, who you can see on screen tonight, who joined us as our new Director of Business and Operations on July 1st. Donna, who has over 20 years of experience in both municipal and school business operations, is this year's recipient of the Rising Star Award of the Connecticut Association of School Business Officials. So I think we have a gem. Then today, Carolyn Borcherding began as our Director of Special Services. Carrie has served as a special education administrator for the Greenwich Public Schools since 2015, and we are delighted to have both of these ladies join our leadership team in the district. So welcome. Next, for board members, I will be scheduling a time for the board to meet for this year's board self-evaluation. So board members will be receiving an email from Ms. DeGennaro later this week to coordinate a date and time for that meeting. So be on the lookout for more information regarding that. Also, chairs of the Board of Education subcommittees will be contacted this week as well to set dates for this year's subcommittee meetings. Chairs need to be checking in with the members of your committee to check for their availability and if you want to make a change to either the day or the time that your committee meets. Next is the 2022 CABE Summer Leadership Conference is being held on Thursday, August 18th. If any board members interested in attending, please reach out to Marcia so that you can be registered for that event. It's only an afternoon event, an early evening event. They serve dinner at the end of the conference. Most importantly, the 2022 CABE CAPS Convention will be held November 18 and 19. This convention provides professional development for board members, and so I would like to encourage my colleagues on the board to commit to attending at least for the first day, which is, I think, the day that's most jam-packed usually and most informative. If you want to go for 2 days, that's great. Early registration is through the end of July, so we really want to get that early registration in. And so I'm going to ask board members to also contact Marcia to have your name put on a list so that she can register us as a block from Woodbridge. So the more the merrier, and it's a very useful convention. And there are lots of workshops that are offered that I think will be very helpful for us. So please consider taking some time to do that. At this time, I would like to call on our first selectman, Beth Heller, who is happy to join us this evening to make a few brief comments and to share some very exciting news with us. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Lynn. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Good. Okay. Thank you. Beecher's very, very special to me because 3 of my kids survived. Actually, Beecher survived my kids, I should say. 3 boys. So I'm very fond of Beecher, and thank you for this opportunity tonight. On July 6th, I had a meeting with Finance Director Tony Genovese. I met with Lynn and Christine and also Donna. And as you all know, as board members, there are several capital projects at Beecher Road School that have been brought to our attention. And recently, our town debt service has declined as we have paid off existing debt. As I told the Board of Selectmen at our meeting last week, it is time for us to all work on these capital projects for Beecher Road School. These items include the leaking roofs, the asphalt walkways, the North School parking lot, overgrown trees, the Kazinskis Loop, and several areas of water incursion into the building. I'm sure there are others as well. The cost, unfortunately, or fortunately, because it's going to probably be so much, will require a special town meeting according to our charter. That being said, after I spoke with Lynn and Christine and Donna, I informed the board that to accomplish this and be eligible for any state grant reimbursement funds, should these grant funds become available, we must appoint a Beecher Road School Building Committee to examine these projects and make recommendations to the Board of Selectmen. I appointed from the Board of Finance and Beecher parent Donovan Lofters. Board of Selectmen member Sheila McCrevin, and Woodbridge Board of Ed member Jeff Hughes, who, as you know, is the Woodbridge Board of Education Facilities Chair. And I cannot thank Jeff enough for when he took my phone call and called me back, said, yes, like almost immediately. It was so exciting. So thank you, Jeff, especially. I appreciate it because it's going to be a lot of work, I know. And that enthusiasm is what we need right now. So with that, I look forward to their ideas, their recommendations, and most importantly, getting these things done for Beecher Road School. So thank you so much. And I hope that's good news to all of you. We're committed to doing, I've been listening to it for 5 years and I think it's time. So thank you so much, everyone. And I'll keep you updated, or the committee will keep you updated on this. And I will have the charge ready shortly. Jerry Shaw's out for a few days. Betsy Aglet, I don't know if you heard or not, is retiring from Town Hall and taking a job in New Haven. No weekends, no nights. Can you blame her, at a nonprofit? So we wish her well. She'll be leaving August 5th. So we have a little bit of change going on at Town Hall, but we're going to get it done. So thank you all, and thank you for everything you do for our kids at Beecher Road School in our town. Thank you, Lynn, for this opportunity.
Beth, thank you. I think all of the board members, I think I speak for all of them, we're delighted to hear that we're going to move forward on some very important projects that will make the school a safer and a healthier place for our staff, for our students, and ultimately for the community who benefit from the use of the building as well. So,
And
can't
above
thank
all,
you
it's
enough.
going to really look good.
It's going to look great.
The
Yeah.
outside as well. I know the inside looks good, but the outside's got to get cleaned up and fixed
Right.
up. So thank you
And-
all for being patient with us. But now that our debt service, as I said, has gone down, this is the right time to do that. So we're going to go forward.
It's great news. It's
Thank
great
you.
news. Thanks again, Beth, and thanks for signing on tonight to let us know.
No worries.
And Jeff, you have the thanks of the board and the administration, because we know you're the one who knows the building the best. So yay. Okay, wonderful. So that's my report. I'll move on to the superintendent search update. That would be me as well. At the May 17th meeting, the Woodbridge Board of Education voted to act as the Personnel Search Committee in search for a new superintendent. Subsequently, the board developed a request for proposals. RFPs were sent to local and national executive leadership search firms. 6 firms responded with a written proposal. The Board of Education, serving as the Superintendent Search Committee, met on Wednesday, June 29th to review those proposals. 4 firms were chosen for interviews, and those interviews were conducted on July 12th. In its deliberations, the board identified an established firm with firsthand experience of the Woodbridge School District, extensive background, and a reputation for recruiting top outstanding candidates that parallel the expectations of the board and the community. It is the recommendation of the Woodbridge Board of Education that we engage the services of CABE Executive Search Services with Dr. Mary Broderick and Dr. John Reynolds serving as lead consultants. Do I have a motion to enter into a contract with CABE Executive Search Services? Okay, do you want to read the motion?
Sure. I move that we enter into contract with CABE Executive Search Services to conduct a search for a new superintendent.
Do I have a second? Jeff? Motion made by Maria Madonic, seconded by Jeff Hughes. Board members, is there any discussion? Okay, since this involves hiring, I'm going to call the roll and for the vote. Maria?
Yes.
Sarah Beth?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Jeff? Stephen? I can't hear
Did you hear me?
Oh, that was good. Try it again.
Yeah.
Excellent, Stephen. Thank you. Woo! Mike,
Yes.
Aaron, and I vote yes, so that's unanimous, Marcia. Thank you. And the board will get to work with CABE Services and set a timeline and all the things that need to be done to to start the search will begin. Thank you. Superintendent's report. Syriac, I'm going to mute and you're going to.
Good evening, everyone. Very loud. That's why I'll try to do it quieter.
You keep it the same way.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Try again, Christine. Okay.
So just to go back to what Lynn said at the beginning of the evening and welcoming me back to the Board of Education table, I just want to share that actually this is the first time I've sat at the Board of Education table because the last time all the meetings were virtual. So I'm really pleased and delighted to be here this evening and meeting with everyone. I just have a few things this evening to share out with the board in regard to what's happening at Beecher Road School and in the Woodbridge Public Schools. And I'm certain that come August, I will have much more to share as we're ready to reopen the school. So as you heard, Donna Coonan has joined us in the business office, and she also started at the start of this month. She's getting up to speed with the current fiscal year 23 budget, as well as closing the books for fiscal year 22. And looking at some of the upcoming capital projects that are on the horizon for us. So she has spent the last 2 weeks trying to get acquainted with everyone while taking a look at the past as well. She's also starting this week some preliminary field work for our annual financial audit, which is underway, and I believe the auditors will start working in the district on Wednesday. So she has a task in front of her. As Lynn mentioned, our Director of Special Services, Carolyn Borcherding, started today. We look forward to working with Carrie in the coming weeks as we hire a few additional positions for the special education department in regard to teachers, as well as additional paraeducators that we need to bring on board. And also Carrie joins us as we start week 3 of our extended school year program for our students. So we welcome Carrie, and she has a lot of work to do in the summer ahead of her. It's been a pleasure to reacquaint myself with Vito Asparo and his team and the tremendous work that they accomplished during the summer break. I know that for many individuals, you think that the summer break is a time that the building is empty and everything can be cleaned and, you know, shined up a little bit. But in reality, the building is very actively used. So we have 3 summer programs here, plus the rec department is in the building. So Vito and his team have to section off parts of the building to work on at any particular time. By the middle of next week, he should have the grade level classrooms all completed in sections B, D, and S. That's a huge undertaking. And then you have administrators such as myself and the building principal and the assistant principal saying, you know what, I think we're going to move this classroom down the hall to a different location. And of course, you know, he has to deal with all of our last minute moves and new locations and new people joining us. In addition to that, that's not the only thing he's taking care of this summer. He's looking at some of our exterior lighting issues to see that they are in working order. There's an oil tank being removed on property over the next 2 weeks in conjunction with a project with the town. He has to go around and make sure he and his team that all the batteries are updated in our electronic doors. And in addition to that, he's setting up testing for the fire department, et cetera, so that we're all ready to open, and taking care of some of our HVAC during the summer. So they are very busy, and I would love to be able to just give them the building and not have to worry about the rest of us being here, but somehow they managed to work around us. I also wanted to share with the Board of Education that we continue to look to hire for some of our open positions. We currently have 2 special education teachers that we're interviewing for. We have a music teacher that we're interviewing and hiring for. We still have openings for, I believe it's 8 paraeducators, it may be 7. and we have 3 lunchroom aides. In addition to that, in the budget, there is room for 7 interns as well as 3 building subs. Woodbridge has a unique system for providing substitute coverage when we have staff that's absent, and it's primarily done through interns as well as through building subs. The concern has become that several of the universities really do not have any candidates that are currently enrolled in those programs. So it's been very difficult for us to find interns. So of those 7 positions, we currently have 2 and 1 that I believe is going to happen this week after we do the interviewing. We do have the 3 building subs arranged for. However, we really need to have a full complement in order to address attendance issues and to really try to make sure that we're able to provide coverage in our classrooms and not have to go to other staff in the building to provide that coverage. So in that vein, I may in the future talk to the board again that if we still have not been able to find additional interns, to realign some of that money to strengthen our building substitute pool so that we have more bodies on hand. And I'll have further conversations with you, but meanwhile, administration is reaching out to the different universities. We're doing our best that we can to try to find interns, but if not, then I think the money is there. The monies budgeted are very similar if you were to switch one for the other, and so we may need to take a look at that in the coming weeks. I already mentioned that our 3 summer programs are going on here. We have the extended school year program, we have the Learning Academy program, and we have a summer enrichment program, as well as recreation being here. So we've started week 3, and that concludes next Thursday on July 28th. And the last thing I have to share with the Board of Education this evening is just an update on enrollment, because I know that enrollment is something that you're watching very carefully. I have a document that I will share out with all the board via email tomorrow. But just to give you an update this evening, our numbers, while going up a little bit, it's not all in one grade, it's across multiple grades. I don't think any of the numbers are currently at the point where we would be ready to make a decision as an administrative team as to where we may need to have an extra section added. But based off of the numbers that were shared with you at the June Board of Education meeting, kindergarten has seen an increase of 5 students. And so the class sizes there are currently at 18 and 17 with 6 sections. And again, I'll send you this document. When we get to first grade, we've had 4 reduced students. So first grade is actually 4 less students than it was in June, because we're trying to keep track of not only new students who enroll in the district, but also those who withdraw. And I will share with you from experience, we tend to hear about those who are not coming back to us a little bit later than we hear about those who are coming to us. So that's why I feel that we still have a few more weeks of trying to look at the numbers before we make a decision. Grade 2 is up 4 students, and so their current class sizes for the different sections would be 19 students in the multi-age group, and then 21 in 4 of the sections and 20 in a 5th section, and that's just an average. I'm sorry, I did not share in grade 1. The sizes there, it's 20 students in MAG, and there are 3 sections of 18 and 2 sections of 19. But again, you don't have to write this all down. I promise I'm sending it to you right afterwards. In grade 3, we are up 8 students. 20 students are in MAG, and then we have 4 sections with 18 and 1 with 19. In grade 4, we are up 6 students, 18 in MAG, 20 in 4 sections, and 19 in 1 section. For grade 5, we are up 2 students. Grade 5 is the grade level where there are currently 7 sections, unlike all the other grades where we currently have 6 sections. So in grade 5, there are 4 sections of 20 and 3 sections of 19. And then in grade 6, we've had 4 students increase, and we have 4 sections of 21 and 2 sections of 22, for a total right now of 834 students enrolled, not counting our pre-K enrollment. And I don't have that number for you this evening, but it's probably another 20 students or so to that number. So you're right around the 850 mark. So I will keep you posted. I will keep you updated. And I will certainly let you know when administration is in a position to make a decision about whether we need to add an additional section at a particular grade level or not. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Christine. Board members, any questions? Jay?
So Christine, what's the net increase in the number of students?
Could you repeat it, Jay?
What's the net increase in the number of students across the school?
$25, Jay. Any other questions?
Sorry.
You
Lee.
go ahead, Jay.
So
We're
I'm-
loved, that's for sure.
So we're looking at about a 3% increase. Am I correct?
850.
My math isn't that good.
Jay, we're gonna believe you.
So we're looking at a 3% increase. Has that been a steady increase over the last few years, or is this an unusual year?
So I don't have your data from the past few years. I can definitely look into that and get back to you. But really, for many years in Connecticut overall, districts were seeing a decrease in enrollment. And I do believe that your district, however, began to see an increase in enrollment prior to other districts beginning to see that. So I think you
Right.
have seen an increase over the past couple of years, but I'll get that data for you and share it out.
Yeah, it just has budget implications as we go forward. So
Yep.
that's why I just want to make everyone aware that, as you mentioned, other districts are declining.
Right.
We're actually increasing.
Yeah.
So when we try to benchmark our budget against neighboring districts, let's also consider that particular factor, which I think is a very important one. Thanks.
Thank you, Jay. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on to Policy Committee report. Maria?
Thank you. And Policy Committee met last Thursday. We reviewed the policy number 0523, the equity policy, which will now be on 30-day review. And then we also addressed a revision to policy 9122, the vice chair policy. And for other members of the board, we had revised this policy to reflect the new election date of November. And inadvertently, when we came to the board meeting, there was an old clause left in the policy that we actually approved. So the policy that is before you, policy 9122, reflects the change in the election date and removes the succession clause for the chair. So if the position of chair would vacate, then we would reference our other board policy, which says that we have 30 days to hold a meeting noticed for such intention to elect a new chair.
Any questions about that? Okay, want to make a motion for adoption?
Sure. I move that we adopt policy 9122, vice chairperson as revised.
Second, Aaron. Motion made by Maria Madonic, seconded by Aaron Williamson. Any discussion from the board? This one's pretty cut and dry. Okay, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, Marcia. Thank you. And I would encourage everyone to take a look at the policy that's on 30-day review. If you have any questions, reach out to Maria.
Yes, absolutely. And, we're happy to work on revisions. It's a brand new policy, much the way as our civility policy was. So if there's any thoughts or revisions, please bring them forward. We're happy to continue to work on that.
Perfect. Thank you. New business. First thing on new business on the agenda is to appoint Christine Syriac and Donna Coonan as authorized signers. Do I have a motion? Go ahead, Maria.
I move that we approve Christine Syriac and Donna Coonan as authorized signatures and representatives for the Woodbridge School District effective July 1st, 2022.
Second, Sarah Beth. Motion made by Maria Madonic, seconded by Sarah Beth Del Preet. Any questions or comments from the board? Again, pretty cut and dry. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Unanimous, Marcia. 4B, authorize Christine Syriac to hire. Go ahead, Maria.
I move that we authorize Christine Syriac, interim superintendent, to hire staff for the Woodbridge School District in accordance with Connecticut General Statutes 10-151B, effective July 1st, 2022.
Do I have a second? Mike? Motion made by Maria Madonic, seconded by Mike Strambler. Any discussion? All those in favor? Yeah. Okay, that's unanimous, Marcia. Thank you. 4C on the agenda is authorized signer for ED099, which is the Healthy Food Certification. This one requires us to say exactly what's in the motion, Maria. Go ahead.
I move that we accept the permanent single agreement for the Connecticut State Department of Education's child nutrition programs and authorize the Board of Education Secretary, Sarah Beth Del Preet, to certify the action of the Woodbridge Board of Education that authorizes Christine Syriac, interim superintendent of schools, and Donna Coonan, director of business services and operations, as signers of the Connecticut State Department of Education reimbursement claims submitted on behalf of the Woodbridge School District.
Do I have a second for that? Jeff? Motion made by Maria Madonic, seconded by Jeff Hughes. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. It's unanimous. Thank you. So Sarah Beth, I think Marcia will probably have something you'll need to sign. Is that correct, Marcia? Maybe. Can't hear you, Marcia. Is that correct, Christine? Do you know that answer?
Lynn, that is correct.
Thank you.
The document is on my desk if she would like to sign it before she leaves.
Oh, there you go, Sarah Beth. Thank you, Marcia. I knew you'd be on top of that. Appreciate it. Okay, accept certified staff resignations. Do you have anything that you want to say about that, or should we just move forward with the motions?
I think you should move forward.
Okay, so the first motion is I move that we accept the resignation of Lisa Zima, effective June 30th, 2022, with regret. Do I have a second? Maria? Lisa has served as our music teacher. So the motion is made by Lynn Piazek, seconded by Maria Madonic. Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Next, I move that we accept the resignation of Kathy Zadrowski, effective June 30th, 2022, with regret. Do I have a second? Maria? Kathy has served the district as a special education teacher. Any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you, it's unanimous. And the last one, I move that we accept the resignation of Kim Franklin, effective June 30th, 2022, with regret. Do I have a second? Maria, thank you. Motion made by Lynn Piazek, seconded by Maria Madonic. Kim has served both as our sixth grade teacher and then as last year as our math specialist, in which she taught the pre-algebra class that was offered this past year. Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. I would like to say on behalf of the Board of Education that we certainly appreciate these three fine women's contributions to the district, and certainly the students at Beecher have benefited by the work that they have done while they are here. We wish them well in their future endeavors. Thank you. Other. This is going to be an amazing meeting, people. Public comment. If you have public comment, if you would raise your hand in the participants list. I'll scroll through. I don't see any public comment. There is no executive session this evening, so I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. Jay Daya is making the motion to adjourn at, I'm going to look at my 7:44, Jay. We have broken a record. There's a motion made by Jay Daya to adjourn at 7:44. Do I have a second? Sarah Beth? Now I'm going to ask the question, but don't anybody not raise your hand for this one. All those in favor? Wonderful. Thank you so much. I hope you're all enjoying your summer. Have a pleasant evening. And thank you to those who have tuned in. I appreciate that. Good night.